A play in Kerala is now stirring a hornet's nest. This play speaks about the asceticism in the Christian community, especially in the Catholic community. And this play has now become a huge controversy with the Catholic Church saying that it has got anti-Christian ethos in it and they want it banned. Well, this is what they have been saying regarding this particular play that has been played almost 14 times in Kerala, and it has also resulted in a series of protests as well. The play that we are talking about is Kakkukali, or in simple words, in English it is known as hopscotch. The play speaks about a young girl who was forced to enter a nunnery and then escape from her alleged cloistered surroundings. The play is based on a short story by Francis Norona and is being staged by the Nathal Nataka Sangam of Alapura. The play began facing criticism from the church from February this year. Under the aegis of the Tamassery Diocese, Catholics had taken out a protest march to the venue where the play was to be staged, and this time it was in Kozhikode in Edicherry. Then Tamassery Bishop Remigius had also said that the political leaders and the media and the state had neglected the church's concerns on the play. Meanwhile, the Kerala Catholic Bishops' Council too has stated that they will continue to organize the protests against the play across the state. The Kerala Catholic Bishop Council President Cardinal Mar Basilios Klimis called for a ban on Kakkukali. The bishop said that those who supported the play are advocates of anti-Christian sentiments and demanded political parties to come clean on their position. To discuss more about this, we have with us Josukuti J. Urukuil, Global Vice President of the Catholic Congress, Advocate Sebastian Paul, who is the legal expert and former MP. Let's go to, in fact, Josukuti. Mr. Josukuti, why is the church against this play? What is the reason for the church to be against this play?
The church is against this play because this is trying to generalize something that is totally against Christianity, against the life of nuns, and against the holy practices that we have here. Firstly, it says that it is the convent is a place for those who are coming from poor families. In fact, that is not the fact. Many nuns are coming from rich families. Secondly, it is not an asylum for somebody who have no other place to go. In fact, these women are joining the convent with their full conviction and without the compulsion of someone. And also, they are doing it with their full belief in Jesus Christ, not in any other thing. They have belief in Jesus Christ, His sacrifice, and they want to serve the humanity. And with that aim, the nun community in Kerala is doing a good amount of service to the society, and the society were always appreciating their work. There may be some one or two exceptions, but on an average, out of the 40,000 nuns in Kerala, they are doing several social works, serving the people, serving the poor, serving the downtrodden, the deceased people, the people with diseases and all those things. They are doing it. But this play is portraying them as something else. They are in a place where there is several perversions, interpersonal perversions, sexual perversions, and a place for the poor, and also it denies the Christian belief in some or other way. There are several reasons. That is why we say this is against the Christianity. One thing more, there is a political motive and an anti-Christian motive inside it. There are evidences behind it. It was first played in UAE and in the name of one particular organization. When it comes to Kerala, under the aegis of NGO unions, supportive organ, this was played. Then now it is being played by a library council subcommittee, that is neither Nadaka Sangam. So that is also a major factor, that is some hidden agenda is behind it.
Well, you're saying it's a hidden agenda. In fact, let us get Advocate Sebastian Paul also into the discussion. Advocate Sebastian Paul, is there a reason for actually going against something like this? The church has always faced criticism, both in terms of art, both in terms of direct criticism as well. There have been movies that have been against the church. There have been so much against the church. But the church has survived because the church believes in its moral ethos. But do you think that there is a need to, in fact, go ahead and protest about this? Because this particular play also, let's give some credence to Joseph Kutty's way of saying it, that this has an agenda as such, because this play did come up at a time when the protests by the nuns were in fact gaining steam. It has come just after that, and there has been a lot about the issues regarding the nunneries in Kerala that has also been highlighted by various medias during that time, and this play comes just after that. So there seems to be an agenda, is what Joseph Kutty also says. So over to you, sir.
Well, I am in agreement with what Mr. George Kutty said about the sentiments of the church. Everything is there. But I can't agree with him that there is a hidden agenda or an outside agenda behind this play. This play, as well as so many other plays, or piece of literature, always we know that church will be a target of criticism by writers and artists. But nothing happened to the church. But church always assumed the role of a grand inquisitor or a censor from the period of Gutenberg itself, so many years. But now we don't want any permission from the church or certificate from the church to write a book, publish a book, or perform a play. Here, the play is regarding what is happening inside the Catholic nunneries or convents. Everything is not happy within these convents. We have so many incidents, starting from Sister Abhaya and the incidents of Bishop Franco. All those things are before us. So here there is a play, Kakkukali, which portrays the plight of a sister, a nun in the convent, who is, in fact, she is an entrapped situation. That is the situation.
But how, Sebastian Paul, there are issues with, the nunneries, that is also agreed. There are issues that needs to have some kind of transparency. But the issue over here is that when you have a play like this, how is it that it is portrayed in such a way that it is a place where people are going against their will? That couldn't be the majority of the cases. There could be few cases, but not majority of the cases. Of course, how did the church, if people were in fact something stuck like this in a country like India, of course they have the freedom to come out of it also. But can you explain as to such that how is it that there is a, one brush that paints all being put on the entire nunnery as such? There are issues in nunnery. Of course, what you highlighted is well known, from Sister Abhiya's case to there are other cases as well that have been highlighted. It is this thing. But the issue is that over here they are raising is that this is not the only reality inside a nunnery. There seems to be some kind of negativity only being propagated for some agenda. That is what they are trying to say. Is that right? Is that the reading that is going on?
No, I am not condemning all the convents in Kerala or the India or national level. We have the experience of sharing our spiritual experience of Mother Teresa. All those things are there. But my point is that whether our convents should be in should function in such an excluded manner, or whether there should be some transparency. Whether an artist, here originally it was in the form of a story written by Francis Norona, whether a writer or an artist or a playwright has the freedom to criticize the convent or criticize the church organizations or criticize a bishop or a cardinal. All those things are there. When something unpalatable is there, the trend, the temptation is to ask for a ban. I am against all types of bans or prohibitions against artistic activities, because freedom of expression is very vital and fundamental to the sustenance of our democratic freedoms.
Well, interesting enough, Sebastian Paul, let's go to, in fact, Joseph Kutty as well. Joseph Kutty, the issue over here, as Sebastian Paul was saying, that there are some things that can be highlighted, but issue over here is that why is it that the same issues that have been raised by this artistic thing can be also countered with your artistic display. I mean, you can also put out your views. It's a country where freedom is allowed for expression of artistic values. So if you think that Francis Norona's play is against, or Kakkukali is against the very ideals of Christianity, you can also make a play. You can also go ahead and display it saying that what are the ideals that you espouse. You don't, ഒരു നാടകത്തിൽ കൂടെ തന്നെ ഇത് നടത്തു കഴിയുമ്പോൾ അതിന്റെ കൗണ്ടർ നാടകവും നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ചെയ്യാനുള്ള സ്വാതന്ത്ര്യമുണ്ട്. എന്തുകൊണ്ട് അങ്ങനെ ചെയ്യുന്നില്ല എന്നുള്ള ചോദ്യം കൂടെ ഇല്ലേ?
Okay, sir. See, I will give you the answer. First thing is, the original story is totally manipulated in the play Kakkukali. If you go through the original story, there the entire picture is totally different. That is one thing. It is totally manipulated. It is manipulated in such a way that it generalizes the life of the community of nuns in the convents. So that is not acceptable. Second thing is, there is an attempt to tarnish the edifice of Christian belief. And there is an attempt to tarnish the Christianity as a whole, the Christian community as a whole, the nun community as a whole is practicing something that is not proper or something that is not regular. That is the second thing. Third thing is, why they are not the LDF or the political parties that advocates for banning, that stand for banning the Kerala story is now not promoting this play. That's the third thing. The fourth thing is that in Kerala, there are a large number of different communities living together, and they should propagate beliefs, mutual respect and such things. Here, with the support of the political organizations and their sub-organizations, this is not a totally innocent community move. This is not a totally innocent cultural or artificial activity. This is an organized attempt, organized by powerful political parties and trade unions and their supporters. And this play was originally played, I mean, earlier it was played in front of the particular type of audience, those who don't have belief in God or those who are following a particular political ideology. This was played there, and in such a way they were trying to generalize. I mean, they were trying to assume the public opinion on this play that it is not bad. But actually, suddenly it came into the eyes of others, and very recently it came to the notice of the church authorities and others that there is something wrong, anti-Christian and anti-community in it. That is why we are not agreeing with Mr. Sebastian Paul, because again I would like to say, generalizing a symbol or a personal issue is not at all a cultural activity, or it is not in favor of the freedom of expression. That's it.
Well, Joseph, in fact, stay with us. Sebastian Paul, the issue over here seems to be very much out there now. What Joseph is saying that if there is so much of an issue raised on Kerala's story, and there is so much of credence being given by the political class saying that the Kerala story is something that has to be banned, why not a single political person from either the LDF or the UDF has in fact even voiced concern regarding this? This is the actual story, isn't it? That one community's voice is heard while the other community's voice is not being heard. It looks like politically the Christians in the state are now feeling that heat. The question is, if Kerala's story can be condemned and been asked for a ban, why not for Kakkukali? What is the difference in this then? Isn't it showing the double standards of the government?
No, the government, the party and public men are accused of adopting double standard in the matter of this Kerala story as well as in the matter of this Kakkukali. I am not supporting or justifying such things or such people. I have a basic issue. That is my personal, it may be my personal problem, that I am against all sorts of prohibitions, all sorts of bans. Let the flowers of free expression bloom. That is the way we have to live in a democratic society. The church in Kerala has a history of opposing all types of such things, even minute criticisms, they will oppose it. What happened to PM Antony when he staged a drama based on that acclaimed novel of Kazantzakis, The Last Temptation of Christ? Even then the church was offended. My case is that the church need not be offended, need not get offended in such things. If the play is good, people will see it. If the play is bad, people will reject it. The church can come out with counter arguments. That is the stand taken by me with regard to the cinema Kerala story also.
Well, look at the scandal then. If you look at the scandal, when something is scandalous, of course, there will be attention to it. So, when there is something scandalous, well, you can speak about it like that. But then, the issue over here is it worth going for a ban, Josuti? I mean, is it, my question is, the church has faced so much for the last 2000 years. Would one Kakkukali actually have an issue on the church right now? I mean, it is a much stronger enterprise and it can also has the same avenues to fight against this. So, why would you in fact ask for a ban on this?
Church is now demanding a ban on this in a purely democratic way. We are very much interested in propagating and starting or commencing an wholesome discussion over the pros and cons or the merits of this play. Not only this play or the merits of all other plays and all other things. This is a pluralistic community. In a pluralistic community, only through mutual respect that each community can sustain, they have to highlight their personal esteems. Here in Kerala, if the Catholic community, if the Christian community feels that there is some kind of an agenda is working against them, why the government is not ready to address that issue? Not only this is just one issue. There are a list of issues that can be considered as organized against the Christian community. So the Christian community as a whole is demanding several other things along with this one. In Kerala, there are several issues. So those issues are to be addressed. Let there be a widespread public discussion over the action, over the quality of the drama, over the purpose of the drama, and all those things. Then, as part of it, it is a must that this should not be played in front of the innocent pluralistic community. Why? Because this will give an impression to the innocent people that the community is not good at all. This is not an isolated issue. There are other issues associated with this. That I mentioned earlier, that the Christian effigies are not respected in many of these stories or
Right, Josuti. In fact, thank you for speaking to News9 as well as Sebastian Fall. Thank you for in fact joining us. It looks like the question of freedom of expression is something that has been expressed. How much of freedom of expression does not become an offense? And if everyone has the freedom of expression, then everyone can give their opinions, even if it is offensive. Why not go ahead and defend it as well? With that, it's a wrap on this News9 special. Stay tuned for more News9 programs on the other side.